it's going to end eventually, so you might as well spend it and enjoy it. There's a lot of twisted things. All right, let's go into this crazy bastard right now. Let's talk a little Rastelli, if you don't mind. Settle in. We're getting into our topic right now. I'm going to skim through some facts about this guy. I got a couple of videos from our friends over at Mob Facts, and we're going to talk a little Rusty Rastelli. This is what we do on Sundays. Here we go. Settle in. Grab that coffee. Let's go. 37 seconds. We're talking Rusty Rastelli.
It's the Tommy Stig Show in 3, 2, 1.
Before we get into Rusty Rastelli, let's go back in time here and see what we have here. Where is Mob Facts? All right, let's check out this video, and we're going to get into Rusty Rastelli. As I said, on Sundays, we're doing a little mob talk on Sundays. That's what I want to do. If you don't like it, this ain't the place for you.
Good evening, I'm John Rowland. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Here we go.
You buy some candy or cigarettes in a vending machine, you eat at certain restaurants, or you go to see some sexy movies. And some of the money you're spending could be winding up in the mob's pockets. U.S. Attorney Ralph Giuliani says flatly, things cost a lot more in New York, and things are more unpleasant here because of what the mafia does. Today, federal officials tried to start making the mob bosses do the paying. For the first time ever, the reputed heads of all 5 crime families in our town were hauled into court on one indictment. Rob O'Brien found Giuliani and the other top law officials smiling.
Great day for law enforcement, but this is a bad day, probably the worst for the mafia. This case charges more mafia bosses in one indictment than any ever before.
Big Paul Castellano. According to lawmen, he's boss of the 800 gangsters who are said to make up the Gambino crime family. Castellano and the 4 other men fingered by the feds as godfathers of New York's 5 crime families, all indicted today. Castellano left the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan tonight after posting $2 million bail money. The 5 mob bosses are accused of running the commission, said to be the ruling body of the most powerful organized crime elements in the entire nation. FBI Director William Webster says the commission dominates the many families that make up La Cosa Nostra or LCN.
Okay. We now know this much about the commission, that it's a governing body separate and distinct from the individual LCN families, that illegal activities that cross family lines must have the commission's approval, and that extends to their own in-house discipline, including hits and murders.
One of the murders the commission supposedly okayed was the 1979 rob-out of Carmine Galenti, said to have been boss of the Bonanno family. Castellano's attorney, James LaRosa, says the feds will have to prove the commission's existence.
I believe there's crime, and I believe that people bind together in it. Therefore, you can call out an organized crime. I don't believe there's a commission. I don't believe there's a La Casa Nostra, and it has to be proven to me, and it has to be proven to an American jury at one point.
The other alleged mafia bosses indicted today are Antonio Tony Ducks Corallo, said to be head of the Lucchese crime family; Philip Rusty Rastelli, reputed head of the Bonanno crime family; Gennaro Jerry Lang Langella, identified by the indictment as acting boss of the Colombo family; and Anthony Fat Tony Salerno, a 74-year-old reputed don of the Genovese mafia family. Salerno, too, made his bail of $2 million this evening. Proceeded out of the courthouse by some younger protectors, Salerno faces possible sentences of up to 200 years in prison time if convicted. His attorney, Michael Rosen, calls the federal indictment something out of Alice in Wonderland.
This is a circus put on and orchestrated by the powers that be over there at St. Andrews Plaza.
Meaning the federal prosecutors?
That's what it means.
You say there's nothing to the federal government contention that...
We will address the charges in court. We were supposed to address them. We're not going to address them out on the street, and we're not going to address them in the press.
During today's bail hearing, federal prosecutors said thousands of hours of taped conversations had been recorded by the 90 wiretaps and 80 bugging devices used during the long investigation. U.S. Attorney...
So there we are. That's the start of... So Rusty Rastelli evidently was arrested in the commission case. Let's see. Let's go over some facts. Yeah. Yes. See, not many people know this, but I'm going to say this again, and I've said this before. Rudy Giuliani's father was a bank robber. He did 10 years for armed bank robbery. You guys may not know this. Rudy Giuliani, the Crime Stopper of New York City, his father was an armed robber, moved him out of Brooklyn into the suburbs as a young kid because he didn't want Rudy Giuliani to go that path. So Rudy Giuliani's father was half a gangster. You never knew where it was going to go. His father says, I'm getting us out of Brooklyn and we're getting over to the suburbs. Philip Rusty Rastelli, 1918 to 1991, was allegedly the undisputed boss of the Bonanno crime family. He spent much of his reign directing operations from prison, the origin of Rusty. His nickname wasn't a play on an old school mob nickname. It was quite literal. He was so frequently in and out of jails with old rusty bars that the moniker stuck. His name is Rusty. Somebody asked about the nicknames this morning. His name is Rusty because he's been in and out of jail so many times that he crossed over them rusty prison bars. And I hope none of you ever have to put your hands on those rusty prison bars. So what a way to get your name, huh? The unique type of a Don. He was elevated to boss in 1973. However, due to continuous convictions, he spent the better part of his life behind bars and is remembered for running his family from a federal prison cell. Rusty Rastelli, turbulent personal life. His marriage to his first wife, Connie, mirrored a mob war. Check this out, guys. Rusty Rastelli got caught cheating with his gumara after she discovered his infidelity with a younger woman in Canada. Rusty Rastelli's wife tracked him down, tracked them both down, and beat Rusty's gumar unconscious. Wait a minute. Now you're talking about gangster chicks. You're talking about Italian woman. Rusty Rastelli's wife tracked down his gumad and beat her unconscious. What the fuck? What the fuck? Another time, she fired several shots at Rusty Rastelli on a Brooklyn street, hitting him twice. His wife. Hold on a minute. Rusty Rastelli's wife beat down the gumad unconscious and shot him twice. What? You ain't gonna hear this shit anywhere else. I'm fucking telling you right now. You get this crazy shit here at the social club, a lucky exclusion. He was scheduled to stand trial in the famous 1985 commission trial. She beat the piss out of the Kumara. What the fuck is that? I never heard of something like that. Look at him there in the picture, in the thumbnail right there. I can't. Rusty Rastelli. Oh, man. You can't. This is hysterical. He was scheduled to stand trial in the famous 1985 commission trial. However, prosecutors severed his case, said he could be tried separately for labor racketeering. The lucky break, combined with the family's temporary removal from the commission, spared the Bonannos from the sweeping conviction that hit the other families. Oh, so, okay. All right. So being that Joe Bonanno was excluded from the commission because of the book he wrote, Rusty Rastelli was not linked in the commission case. So Joe Bonanno actually did a favor for Rusty Rastelli. Joe Bonanno got them banned from the commission because that tell-all book that he wrote that brought down the commission. This is fucking crazy. That's why he got off. Interesting. Lunch wagon extortion. Much of his pre-boss criminal career involved loan sharking and running a protection extortion racket in New York City lunch wagon vendors via a union. Compassionate release. Rusty Rastelli suffered from liver cancer. He was granted compassionate release from Federal Medical Center in Missouri in 1991, and he died shortly after. See, that's right. This is where the compassionate release is valid. He was terminal. Just like I say with Matty Madonna, Mr. Crea, these guys should be home dying at home. They shouldn't be dying in a hospital bed like that, in a prison. Come on. He shouldn't be dying. They did the right thing. Quite honestly. He didn't, Bambi, he didn't, Dirty Jersey. Yeah. Oh, yeah? You got the med glasses, yeah. Yes. Sure. Well, that's an easy thing to do. Now, I got to tell you about the shakedowns of the trucks. Matty Madonna's touchy. Marty Tessetta should be out, not 33 years. I don't know. Prosecutorial misconduct. Matty Madonna is a tough one. I know the murders and all of that. I get it. They're convicted of murder. What are you going to do? But they're convicted of on a lying rat. So it's very difficult. Who the fuck knows? Okay, so let's get into a little more about Rusty Rastelli. Sad facts. The official boss of the Bonanno crime family from the early 70s to 1991 spent the majority of his reign incarcerated and presided over the virtual disintegration of his criminal organization. His wife, So now, back over to him. His life was plagued by severe marital violence and an unrelenting physical and legal turmoil. The most prominent, sad, and tragic facts of his life include turbulent and deadly marriage. His marriage to his first wife, Connie, was highly volatile. After she discovered he was having an affair, she shot him twice on a Brooklyn street. When the marriage ended, she threatened to talk to federal agents about his drug trafficking. Before he was indicted, that wife that said she was going to talk to the law was mysteriously gunned down in 1962 and is to this day an unsolved murder. Wow. So the wife that beat up his gumara and shot him twice, he accepted that. When she said she was going to talk to the police about his drug dealing, she mysteriously died. And to this day, in 2026, it is unsolved murder. Nobody knows who killed Rusty Rastelli's wife. What the fuck? This is unbelievable. This is some fucking story. Imagine if I knew how to deliver this story. Imagine if I knew how to put a show together. Damn. That's crazy. His wife got clipped. It's still unsolved to this day. A reign spent behind bars. He spent approximately half his life in jail and the majority of his time as boss running the family from a federal prison in Pennsylvania, Missouri, and New York. His long absence allowed ruthless robbers like Carmine Galanti to wage a bloody internal war to seize control of the streets. This is unbelievable. Yeah, he didn't have very good luck. Hey, teacher, I'm fucking flabbergasted if that's the word. I just can't. Use ChatGPT. It will build Dirty Jersey. I like to do it, not knowing what I'm doing. I mean, I think it adds a level, might be a level of authenticity. I think I could do that. Yeah, I kind of like doing it this way. I kind of like having it all fucked up because, again, I don't have any goals here, so it's going to be the way I deliver it and whatever the facts are. But that is correct. You can use all these platforms. Yeah, I know, but Bambi, I like not knowing what I'm doing. Kind of, I guess. There is no other level I want to get to, I don't think. I kind of enjoy this, so that's why it's this way. So, listen, I'm getting shocked as you're getting shocked. If any of this is a shock to you, looks like Hey Teacher gave a wow after he said he clipped his wife. But 2 hours, no good. You lose the crowd. 40 minutes, Bambi. You got to get your story in 40 minutes. Anything past 40 minutes, you're not keeping the crowd, unfortunately. You got to narrow it down to 40 minutes. That's the most you should do, apparently. Again, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Well, because I'm talking with you, Pete. I enjoy it. I'm here to have a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And that's what we do here. And that is the way that you should live your life. Severe health crisis. During a major labor racketeering trial in 1986, Rusty Rastelli suffered massive seizures and collapsed on the courtroom floor. His health deteriorated rapidly throughout the 1980s, and he suffered from advanced liver cancer, dying in compassionate release. Now, this is going to segue into something else. Please remind me about the segue. If anybody's here, I want to talk to you about compassionate release. Dying in compassionate release. He was given compassionate release from the Federal Medical Center in Springfield, Missouri on June 4th, 1991, solely because he was terminal. He died just weeks later on June 24th, 1991 at Booth Memorial Hospital in Queens. Hey, teacher, he died in Queens. You see that? He died in his borough. Not bad. Loss of organizational prestige. Under his prolonged remote leadership and the heavy infiltration of FBI informant Joseph Pastone, Donnie Brasco, the Bonanno family lost its seat on the commission. Oh, that's when it lost its seat. I thought after Joe Bonanno did that, it lost its seat. Now I'm confused, you see? You see, this is where the lack of anything comes in. I thought they lost their seat because of Joe Bonanno. They're saying they lost it because of Donnie Brasco. Anyway, either way, it was a disaster, obviously. It was a disaster, obviously. Yeah, well, yeah, that's where they lived. Okay, let's go over real quick. Good morning, Cheech. Let's go over Rusty Rastelli's timeline in the mafia. Philip Rusty Rastelli. His name is Rusty. They gave him that nickname because he spent the majority of his life coming in and out of prisons and putting his hands on them rusty bars. Rusty Rastelli, I got to say, this guy was pretty much a stand-up, honorable man in that life. He was a douchebag, having clipped his wife, obviously. He was a douchebag. But as far as not saying anything, Boogie Black, is this your first time here, sir or madam? If this is your first time here, welcome, Boogie Black. If this is your first time here, welcome. If not, forgive my ignorance. If it is your first time here, we hope that you do come back. Keep in mind, Boogie Black, this is not a mob channel. I don't give a fuck about the mafia. But every Sunday, we spotlight a gangster, a wise guy. We're going through the commission first. So if this is your first time here, welcome. And if it is not, forgive my ignorance. But either way, welcome to the Social Club. Philip Rusty Rastelli's timeline in the mafia. 1950s. I think no one who killed should get compassionate release. Well, he wasn't convicted of that. That's the problem, Pete. He wasn't convicted of that. Especially of his wife. Especially of his wife. Yeah, they're garbage cans, Bambi. Nobody realizes that the Italians are responsible for the heroin issues in New York City, in the world. Fucking garbage cans. 1950s, he rises through the Bonanno family, specializing in loan sharking, extortion. Hello there, Spataro. Extortion and controlling the Workmen's Mobile Lunch Association. December 1954, he becomes a fugitive after the 1953 shooting of Michael Russo. His wife, Connie, is indicted for attempting to bribe Russo to protect her husband. Oh, my God. His wife was a gangster. March 5th, 1962, his wife, Connie, is mysteriously murdered in Brooklyn after threatening to cooperate with federal agents. The killing remains unsolved to this day. 1964, he marries his second wife. She marries him after he kills her off. He killed Connie. Hey, Spataro, he killed Connie, and this lady, Irene McKee, she wants to marry him. How do you fucking figure that out? 1964, he marries his second wife. 1973, he is elevated to boss of the Bonanno crime family following the death of boss Natalie Evola. 1974, he's released from prison only to face immediate resistance from rival Carmine, the cigar Galante, who assumes de facto control of the family. 1975, Barry, this guy's got some fucking career. 1975, he's sentenced to 10 years in prison for extortion and protection record with the New York City Lunch Wagon Vendors Union. July 12, 1979, Carmine, the cigar Galante, is murdered in Brooklyn at a Brooklyn restaurant, a hit heavily authorized by Rusty Rastelli, who was in prison. This is a great fucking story. This is a great fucking story, this Rusty Rastelli story. Imagine if I knew how to deliver this shit. It'd be great. 1979, 1980, Philip Rusty Rastelli is officially recognized as the undisputed boss of the Bonanno crime family, but faces internal challenges from capos Alphonse Sonny Redondelicato and Dominic Trinchera, as well as Philip Giacone. May 1981, the challenging capos, they were all murdered. What the fuck? The challenging capos are murdered, solidifying Rusty Rastelli's control, managing their street boys, Joseph Messino and Dominic Napolitano. Unfucking believable. September 1981, the FBI's Donnie Brasco agent Joseph Pistone infiltrated the Bonannos, leading to heavy indictments and further disrupt Rastelli's operation. You got to give a fucking A+ for determination. I'll tell you that. You got to give it. 1986, he's indicted alongside the heads of the New York's other families in the legendary Commission trial. 1987, convicted of racketeering, sentenced to 12 years in a federal prison in Missouri. On June 24th, 1991, he dies at the age of 73 from liver cancer, just 20 days after receiving compassionate release from federal custody. Some fucking story, guys. This guy, I got to tell you, hello, Socelli. This guy has one of the most interesting stories that I've ever read. I did not know this until this morning. This was planned 2 weeks ago. I don't even know. Probably one of the most interesting mob stories. That's the Bonanno crime family. Again, we didn't have any Bonannos in North Jersey. I mean, we might have had some associates in North Jersey, but none of that. I think maybe one. We had one in the neighborhood that might have been possibly. It was either Colombo or Bonanno. I don't know. I'd have to ask around. I'm not sure. I don't remember who Michael was with. What a great story. Hey, teacher. So, of course, no flowers. He killed his wife. He was a drug dealer. We're going to give no flowers. He's a demon. All right. Being that Mob Facts is a friend of the show, we're going to show a couple of clips. Let's see what we got here. Yes, Angelo Bonanno. That's correct. Yes. All right, let's see what we got here. This is Rusty Rastelli's brother coming out of court. Let's check this one out if it plays. I don't know these people again. This is Rusty Rastelli's brother, nor do I care to even have any more information. I don't give a fuck about these people, but here we go.
Be out of your way.
Why don't you knock it off, huh?
Don't knock it off.
Just knock it off. Knock it off, huh?
What do you have against me?
What do you got against me? That's what I want to know. No. What do you got against me? That's what I want to know.
Go take the bullshit in there with them. What are you fucking around here? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Give us 5 seconds.
I'll give
You ain't
you
even
shit.
got 2 seconds.
That is Rusty Rastelli's brother. Tommy Chat, I got to go to work. All right. I subscribed and liked. See you next Sunday. We're on every morning, 7 a.m. Every morning, 7 a.m. Newark, New Jersey time. Pedro was the grandson. Yes. Yep. Yes, have a good day. We appreciate you coming by. Have a good day, man. Yes, you guys are great. It was nice to see you, man. Come back if you don't mind. We'd love to see you back. We have coffee every morning over here. Spataro, good morning from Socelli. Let's see if we got other videos of Rusty Rastelli. Oh, here's James Proctor. Here's a James Proctor video. Go sub up to James Proctor. Here we go.
Philip Rusty Rastelli rose to power as boss of the Bonanno crime family in 1973 after serving as underboss to Natalie Joe Diamond Evola. Despite his title, Rastelli spent most of his 18-year reign behind bars serving time for antitrust violations and labor racketeering. He ran the family from prison, though his leadership was widely criticized, even by loyalist Joe Massino, for being ineffective and contributing to the family's decline. Rastelli's power base was rooted in labor unions, particularly the Teamsters in New York's storage industry, where he used intimidation tactics like fire bombings and assaults. A fitness enthusiast and stoic figure, he lived modestly in Brooklyn and kept a quiet public profile. His personal life was chaotic, especially his violent and criminally involved marriage to his first wife, Connie, who was eventually murdered for being an informant. Rastelli died of liver cancer in 1991, largely forgotten by the mob elite. Though once powerful, his legacy is marked by long prison stints and a fractured organization.
All right, thank you, James Proctor. He did a really good job on that. James, he doesn't watch my show, but James, that was really well done. I like when he does shorts like that, James Proctor. God bless you, James. That was really good. That was a good one. The consigliere, I got to tell you, did a great job. Excellent. I'm going to tell him later. Hold on, I got to get the... Yes. So James, I got to give you credit, man. That was really good. That was really good. Let's see if we have another James Proctor video here. I'm sorry, another Rusty Rastelli. Let's see what this one is here. I don't know what this one here. Let's see. We got one more. I think we got one more to show here. James, very, very nice.
Mr. Rastelli? Mr. Rastelli, good morning.
Yeah, he's not going to talk. He's not going to talk. All right, good. Guys, Bambi does some good stuff. Go check out her channel right there, if you don't mind, please. Not just Italians. Oh, of course. No, of course. Carletto, it was just a whole organization of people. It was a whole organization. I got good news for you, Carletto. Give me a minute here. All right, so that basically wraps up our spotlight of this man here, Rusty Rastelli. Don't know if this show was good or not. Again, we did a half hour of coffee talk first, and then we did this. So, yeah, Rusty Rastelli, you're a garbage can. You're not getting flowers. One thing I got to give you, you never opened your mouth. I don't even know if he's on wiretaps. He kept it strong, and he was fucking determined and a very strong individual. What fell apart after him? I mean, that sounds like a very strong family. Very, very, very strong family. I don't understand what happened there. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's, yeah. Let's, all right, let me resume here in a minute. Give me a minute here.